Sup, what's going on, my party people? So in today's video, we're going to talk about the GPR, the general purpose rifle, as it were, and kind of how to set one up. I see a lot of videos where guys have these like 10.5, 11-inch guns, or they have these 20-inch guns, a recce rifle, or whatever, as it were. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong, I just think they're miscategorizing their setup. They're kind of getting into the realm of specialty options, when the general purpose rifle's goal is to be the jack of all trades. It does nothing really great, but does everything well. Now, I touched on in a different video about how the GI style AR-15 is my favorite setup, and this is one of the reasons why. Who is your average 11 Bravo? Who is your average 0311? They are just regular Joes. The goal of these rifles is to do the most with the least. Get an 18-year-old kid battle ready. And that usually requires doing simple things. Now, that isn't to say that 11 Bravos or 0311s are stupid or anything. It's just to say that the military needs to do the most with the least amount of time. And I feel the GPR encompasses that perfectly. Getting to options like the little 10.5-inch guns. Oh, my CQB, I'm a CQB Joe operator. Okay, cool, whatever. You're not, but when you have a gun that short, you're sacrificing a lot of potential to 5.56. 5.56 needs velocity to do what it does. It's a very lightweight bullet, and thus it needs the velocity. Half times mass velocity squared is the formula for that type of stuff. Now, you guys with your big 20-inch guns, well, that's cool and all, but you sacrifice a lot of mobility in some instances. That's not really applicable to civilians, but something to be aware of. Now, with a GPR, the most important thing is it reliable? Well, is it? Is your rifle reliable? When you have a 10.5-inch gun, those short-barreled rifles, they tend to lose some reliability. Now, a 20-inch gun is what the AR-15 is designed to be. 20 inches, 1 in 12 twist, actually. But 20-inch guns tend to be the most reliable, most soft shooting, and most, enjoyable to shoot. And they have the max velocity because of the long barrel. A good in-between is the 16-inch. Now, for legal reasons, 16 is the minimum for civilians. And in those AR pistols, you can't put a vert grip on them. Maybe that's important to you, maybe it isn't. That's just a little bit of food for thought, because pistols kind of have two grips on them. SBR, you can, but we're gonna stay out of legality. The 16-inch, the compromised barrel length. Good velocity, still handy, and it does most things pretty well. Average Joe Private has a 14.5, and we fought a 20-year war with those, and they worked pretty well. So take that for what that's worth. So, in my opinion, if you want a GPR, general purpose rifle, I would get a 16-inch gun, and then we're going to spec it out a little bit. Here's my 16-inch gun. I have a quad rail up front. I like the quad rail because you can put whatever you want on it, wherever you want on it, and there's really not much to think about. The quad rail, the 1913 Picatinny rail, is still the gold standard. M-LOK has taken over in more recent years, but you can find anything to fit Picatinny. You can't always find anything to fit M-LOK. Now, some would say, you can get an M-LOK, Picatinny rail that fits on your M-LOK rail. Well, that's true, but if I just had a regular Picatinny rail, I wouldn't have to worry about the middleman. I can just go straight to bolting it on or finger tightening it, and that's all she wrote. Birdcage, flash hides, I'm not going to talk about too much of those, but they usually come with a birdcage, and that's fine. 5.56 doesn't recoil that much. So covering up your flash a little bit from your perspective is not such a bad thing. When it comes to your optics, now, general use. A red dot, for me at least, I see a star. My astigmatism is not so great, and I see a big red blob. Etched reticle with some magnification. With a 3x prism like I have here, I can still CQB with it. 0 to 200, no problem. If I had to punch out farther, like for hunting, I can go probably 0 to 5. 3x magnification. With the red dot, I think you're kind of limiting yourself. If I can do most things, I want a little magnification and I want a lot of reliability. That's just that on the optics. Now another thing people don't consider. A general purpose rifle. Can you carry it for extended amounts of time? And that's a very individual basis thing. Somebody like me, you know, I'm decently strong. I can carry a big heavy 20-inch gun with a heavy barrel and a full-length optic and all that, a big LPVO and all that. I can carry that for a pretty long time. Can the average Joe carry that for a long time? Maybe, maybe not. But if you're worried about that, 16-inch, save some weight on the gun and you can carry it further. Now a short gun, once again, even lighter, but you're cheating yourself. And all these what would Stoner do rifles and all these specialty options, I don't want that. I want something that's compatible with a lot of other accessories. In the sense that if something breaks, I can replace it very easy. General use, easy field repairs. A regular box standard AR-15 like this, you can replace every part on it with nothing more than a punch and a wrench. Not much to consider and think about from that aspect. So, a mil-spec 16-inch gun, I feel, is the best general purpose rifle for the reasons I just mentioned. It's lightweight enough to carry for long distance. With the right optics, you can do CQB, urban ops, or hunting with it. With the Picatinny handguard, you can attach anything and anything where you want, and you don't need the middleman stuff. And it just makes the most sense to me. You can save the most money and just get it done. Your barrel should be a 1-in-7. Why a 1-in-7? Well, heavier ammo. Ammo for hunting. A 1-in-7 can stabilize 55 grain, 62, the green tip stuff, 77 OTM and all that stuff, and even the heavier rounds a little bit. So, you're getting the most bang for your buck out of a 16-inch rifle just like this. How you set it up specifically, that's up to you. But I'm going to go with something just like this. Etched reticle, 16-inch barrel, 1-in-7, Picatinny rail, magazines of your choice. This is a Magpul Gen 3, but a lot of good magazines out there these days. A heavy buffer, and the stock of your choice. Really not too much to say about that, but there's some things to consider, guys. Your GPR should be able to do most things well, but nothing great. If you can only grab one AR, or only purchase one, for the end of days, for hunting, defense, or whatever, what would you need? So, with that said, go forth, do great things, stay out of trouble. Deuces.